What is up, everybody? Welcome to Jamestown. I'm James, and today I'm going to take you through the start to finish of my smallest wholesale deal to date. Now, this is one of my first wholesale deals, and it only netted me a little over $1,000, but make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can see exactly why that happened, why I accepted the deal, and why this is still one of my favorite and best wholesale deals to date. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing I did, just like with all of my wholesale deals with the exception of a couple, was pull a list from Propstream. Now you can see here I pulled a list of pre-foreclosures from June to July in Illinois, and it returned me 728 results. So using my scripts, I went by and I texted them one by one, first name and a question mark, and I landed on this lead, Jennifer. So after talking for a little bit, Jennifer said she did want to sell her house. She was in mediation at court for pre-foreclosure, and she wanted to go see what would happen at court before she made any decisions on selling her house. So I logged her as a lead and set myself to follow up with her in about a week. So the next week I follow up with her, and she's more ready to sell now, but she says I'm not selling my house for anything less than $75K. In my mind, that's a pretty good deal. I thought I could wholesale it for about 96. I said $75K is good, and I sent her an assignment contract. Now she said that she owed about $60K on her mortgage, so she needed about $15K to get out of the house, move her and her dogs down south where she was moving to a different state. That seemed completely reasonable to me. I thought she was gonna get exactly what she wanted. I thought I was gonna get a $20,000 assignment fee. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Now we fast forward to the inspection. Now you can see from these pictures as we walked in, the house was missing flooring throughout all of the main rooms and one of the bedrooms. Not really a big deal, flooring's not that expensive, but it just looked a little shittier than we were led to believe. Now because there was a fire or something in the past, this house was a relatively new build compared to the rest of the houses around it, so the exterior, roof, windows, things like that were actually pretty nice. So I thought we still had a really good deal here. One of the things we really didn't like upon going into the inspection was the fact that the house reeked of animal feces. She had dogs, she had cats, and despite it being a newer build, it didn't smell very good. Hence probably why the floors weren't down. All in all, this wasn't a huge deal. This still looked like a really light rehab and mostly cosmetic, so we were still excited about the deal. And don't forget, guys, all I ask in return for all this free content is just to like the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below, let me know any questions you have, and just show me some love and support so I can keep putting out free content like this for you guys to enjoy. Now, like I said, this was one of my earlier deals, and I actually didn't take the flyer and post it to social media. All I really did to find cash buyers on this one was pull a list of cash buyers on Propstream, as well as add the property to my website so that the cash buyers could go there and look at the pictures and look at the data I had on the property. Now here's a screenshot of what my website page for this property looked like. As you can see, the numbers were pretty favorable. I had all the pictures, as well as a short description about what was going on with the property. Now you can see over here in this screenshot that I pulled a list of Pecatonica landlords. Now Pecatonica is the name of the town where the deal was located, and because it needed a small rehab and the rentals were pretty good around there, I figured I wanted to be targeting landlords as my potential buyers and not flippers. So as you can see, this list returned 371 landlords. Now out of those, there was probably like 200 LLCs. So me and my girlfriend had to spend a couple of hours staying up late at night, skip tracing all the LLCs to get the owner's name and information from the Illinois state site. So the next day, we had about 350 qualified cash buyers on our list, and I was ready to start texting them to see if anybody wanted my deal. So I texted them just like I text every cash buyer and every seller, starting out with their first name and a question mark, and then when they responded, I sent them this script here. And as you can see on this script, I basically tell them I see that they have investment properties in Pecatonica, where my deal is. Tell them I have an investment property in the area that I'm looking for a buyer on. Is that something you may be interested in? So then basically after that, I maybe had 5 to 10 people that said yes, they were. And I went and sent them the second part of the script, which was just the address is X, Y, and Z. And here's a link to the property on my website with more pictures and additional information. Now from this point, all the cash buyers can hop on my website. Again, this is what that looks like. They can look through all the stuff, all the information, all the pictures, and decide if it's a good deal for them. So after that, we just sat back and waited for cash buyers to contact me. All in all, I only had 2 interested cash buyers, which was kind of surprising to me because I thought the deal was a lot better than apparently it was. But like I said, this was, I think, my third wholesale deal I was working on. So I set up a showing in which only one of them was available. So I went and showed this lady, Allison, who was a local real estate agent, the property. Now I wanted 96 for it. She only ended up offering me 81 while I was there showing it to her, but she was interested in it. She did like it. She gave me some useful information about it. and she was overall a pretty decent cash buyer. However, she was pretty far off of the numbers that we were trying to hit to make this deal work. So, I lied and I told her that we had other offers and I was hoping she would come up, but she was actually really firm with her price. So I thought I was just gonna have to take that, and having the property under contract at $75K means I was only gonna make $6,000, but I was like, hey, I just started out. This is a lot better than nothing. And then the next day, another cash buyer texted me back from that list. His name was Matthew. Now, Matthew wanted to go check out the property, but this one's located a little bit far from where we stay, and I had built great rapport with Jennifer up to this point, so I felt comfortable letting Matthew go to check out her house and having her show him around. Now, Jennifer was not too keen of the first cash buyer I brought through, Allison. She thought she was a little bitchy, in her words. After her showing around Matthew, she called me up and said she really liked this guy. He was a lot nicer, and she would love to sell him her house. Now, because of my transparency with Jennifer, she basically knew at this point that I was not going to be the one closing on the property. She was completely fine with that. She basically knew I was acting as a middleman or a liaison to help find a buyer for her property, and there were no issues with it, which was really awesome and a great experience for a beginner wholesaler. So after Matthew saw the house, he agreed to give me $82K, which I took back to Allison and told her and tried to start a bidding war, but Allison would not budge off of $81,000. So Matthew ended up getting the property at $82,000 assigned to him. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a $7,000 assignment fee, which for my second or third deal is not half bad. Now, after assigning the contract to Matthew and thinking I'm making $7K, he sent me the $5K non-refundable earnest money deposit. I think it's smooth sailing. My real estate attorney, John, gives me a call, and he says that she doesn't owe $60K on her mortgage, she owes $75K on her mortgage, because when you're in pre-foreclosure, fees, penalties pop up, and they also make you pay their attorney fees for taking you to court and foreclosing on your house. Now, as you can imagine, Jennifer was livid. She couldn't believe it. She was cussing out the lender. She couldn't believe people were taking advantage of her like this. She was not happy. She also could not move out of her house without a certain amount of cash, so she straight up told me, I'm gonna stay in this house until they come foreclose on me and the sheriff throws me out. So now I think I got a dead deal, and I got to start playing janitor and cleaning up messes. After basically begging and pleading, I'm able to get the buyer Matthew to come up to $85,000, so he added an extra $3K to it. So after much deliberation and begging and pleading, I get Matthew to bring his price to pay for the property up to $85K. So now there's a $10,000 difference between what she owes on her mortgage and what is willing to pay for the property. Now, Jennifer's telling me that she needs $10,000 to walk away from the house or she's not taking it. I figure I'm either not able to make any money, or I need to convince Matthew to go even higher, or I'm gonna need to convince Jennifer to come down a little bit. So after talking to Jennifer and weighing our options and going back and forth, she finally tells me for $7,000 she can get herself out of the property, get herself to the south, and make her and her dogs happy. So now Jennifer's conceded, coming from $15K to walk away all the way down to $7K to walk away, which definitely sucks, but she says that's still better than her waiting for her house to get foreclosed on, and everything's good. So at this point, her entire payoff is about $76K. Matthew's offering $85K, and that leaves me with $2,000 so that Jennifer can walk away with $7,000. That doesn't take into account all the attorney fees I need to pay. So when you actually look at the settlement statement, which you get at the end of every wholesale deal from the title company, you see right here that my original assignment fee was slated to be $11,600 to Legacy Legal Group, and that got taken down to $1,229 after everything was said and done. And if you look at the other side of the settlement statement, I credited the seller, Jennifer, $10,000. Now, my attorney had told me at the time that I could probably not credit her all that money and just kind of play the waiting game and play a game of chicken, and she probably would have still agreed to just take a couple grand and get out of the house rather than have a pre-foreclosure stay in her record and her get thrown out with absolutely nothing. However, even though I knew that could be an option and maybe would make me more money, that I needed to do the right thing. Because I don't want to be one of those people that gives wholesalers a bad name and makes real estate agents and sellers alike hate us. So I gave Jennifer exactly what she needed. I got a little bit of money back to cover my marketing costs and put a couple dollars in my pocket, and I feel like everybody walked away at least a slight winner. Now that that was all figured out and we were about to close, I get a call from Matthew saying that she left a bunch of shit in her backyard. And at this point, I got my head in my hands. I'm like, I have worked so hard on this deal. I've been on the phone with my attorney 2-3 hours a day, every day, negotiating, going back, going forth, trying to figure out a way to get this deal done and at least make back the money I spent to get the deal, get Jennifer to where she needs to go, and have the end buyer, Matthew, agree to all the terms. So I called Jennifer up. She's got her shit in her backyard, and she said she's gonna move it, and she needs a couple days after close, and blah, 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 back and forth. And eventually Matthew still finally just agrees to wire the money, get the deal closed, trust that she's gonna move her stuff, and to my surprise, everything got done. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this was one of my favorite deals for a few reasons. I'm gonna pop some text messages up on the screen right now from Jennifer after the deal closed, and you can see exactly what she said. She was so happy, so appreciative, and felt like her life had been saved. Now, these are just the texts on the phone. She was just telling me how great of a guy I was, how I really saved her situation, and how she was able to go start new with her dogs and near her grandkids in a different state. And that made me feel great about myself, great about my company, and great about what we do. Additionally, this is one of my favorite deals because it taught me from very early on, my second or third deal, how to do intricate problem solving. I was on the phone with my attorney learning so many terms, learning so many things. I was on the phone like arguing with a buyer, which I did not have the confidence to do in the beginning. And it just taught me how to talk to sellers, how to be empathetic, how to talk to buyers, how to be stern, get your point across, and as well as how to talk to attorneys and all the legal jargon and back and forth that goes on with a wholesale deal. Help me understand settlement statements and numbers, the title company, what everybody's role is. I mean, this really just could not have been a better learning experience for this early on in my wholesaling career. So if you factor in marketing costs, I made maybe $500 in profit. Jennifer was able to go get herself to a new state, into a new life. Matthew was able to close on a property that he's gonna have a cash flowing rental on. And you know what? Even though I didn't make the most money in my career, in fact, I made the least money so far in my career, it was still an awesome experience that taught me a lot, and the information and skills that I learned were invaluable. So let me know down below in the comments any questions you have about this deal, what your smallest wholesale assignment fee's been, and if you think it was worth it for me to put in all this work to try to get the deal done. And guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, show me some love so I can keep putting out free, valuable content just like this for you guys to enjoy. So that's it, guys. You're in Jamestown now. Relax, take some notes, and let's make some fucking money.